Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. We eat sandwiches and play games. Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast. A podcast for everyone's taste.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, the video game podcast that all you renegades listen to. This week, the legendary Druids are having trouble parking the rockets. The news is too Overwatch, too furious. Our topic is endless. And our dragon this week is one of the most vocal people around, voiceover maven, Jennifer Hale. And as always, my name is Brian.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Hassel.
And I'm Joe.
Hey, guys.
What up?
Well, unfortunately, Troy's not with us this week. He's going to be missing the next couple of podcasts, unfortunately. But he's doing great things.
You got
right?
a job.
Yeah.
Yay,
It's
work.
like working and stuff.
He is. And to start us off this week, we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to a fellow dragon, Lewis.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Lewis, it's your birthday.
Yay! We miss you, Lewis.
We do. He'll be back eventually. I promise. He's the chosen one.
He's the chosen one.
Yeah. But I do still want to start off with a question for you guys.
Ooh.
So, what fast food restaurant or even regular restaurant would you like to see in an out-of-place game for no rhyme or reason? There doesn't have to be a reason in game. It could just be anything. So, like for me, I would love to see a Chili's in a Fire Emblem game, just because the names are just synergy, you know?
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Man, this is a tough question.
Okay, I think I want a White Castle in Demon Souls.
Okay.
I want that to be one of the ways you die, though.
Like you resurrect at White Castle?
Yeah. If it's both a resurrection item and an instant death item. Like it's both.
This is actually where all the souls are kept.
I feel like Starbucks would fit really well into the new Pokemon game. It's so trendy. I feel like you could put it in there, people wouldn't even notice. Just go get a coffee.
That's true, yeah.
Especially in Pokemon Snap, the way that professor has built his hut, I can absolutely see a Starbucks in there.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just sit there, sip some coffee. Oh, and then you could just put Pokemon Cafe in the game. I mean, no one wants that, but you could.
No. You know he's not employing Pokemon. You know he's employing his only assistant.
Only
hey,
assistant.
go make me a
She's gonna have to run
Frappuccino.
everything.
She's the only
The
barista.
only assistant that's dying to go out into the field and take pictures of Pokemon, but somehow Professor Mirror is going, hey, new person that just came in, why don't you go out instead of this person that's been on the island for the past 3.5 years?
We should have known not to trust him. He's not named after a tree.
That is
It's
very
true.
true.
Bingo.
Yeah. For me, man, I lost my train of thought. Damn.
Oh, no.
That's what White Castle does.
That's what White Castle does. No, I want... Oh, man, it's going to come back to me later on in the episode, and then I'm going to go ahead and just blurt it out. So
That's fine.
it'll just have
Is
to
it an
happen.
Outback?
Acceptable.
Is it an Outback Steakhouse?
It's
itself?
not an Outback Steakhouse. I don't just eat Outback Steakhouse, guys.
I've never seen you eat anywhere else.
It's true.
Okay, you're not wrong. No, okay. Now I remember now. Okay. So when I lived in Los Angeles and I spent some time up in San Francisco, there's a restaurant called Rock Bistro. Rock Bistro is famous for just bringing a lava rock to your table and you cooking like luxurious meats on that rock.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
To your liking. But they have luxurious and very exotic meats. I want to see a Rock Bistro in Animal Crossing.
Ooh.
That's dark.
That's cool.
Your neighbors go missing and then they have new menu items.
Yeah. Like you see a new plot of land and then there's a new menu item and you're like, oh, wait a second.
What happened?
Where did that eagle go?
I just complained about his shirt. That doesn't mean to cook him. That's amazing. I was actually thinking you might go the Breath of the Wild route.
Oh, yeah.
Because Link already cooks on like a hot stone, but I like where you went.
Yeah.
That's even better. Awesome. All right, well, you know what? Let's get into our games this week.
What are you playing? Oh man, that was weird.
It's
That
so
was
weird.
weird.
We're so used to like Troy leading the way.
It's got that deep bass, the doo doo doo
Deep
doo.
bass
Yeah.
and everything. Oh man, it's Yeah, it's going to be weird. But, Hassel, would you like to start us off this week?
Yeah, I can definitely start you guys off. So here we go. Ready? I played Ground Zeroes for a grand total of 2.5 hours on Friday, and then I went back to playing Rocket League. So today I'm going to be talking about Rocket League, even though
you went back to that Ground Zero itself.
Exactly.
Rocket League.
The podcast people can't see how happy he is to know that we don't want him to talk about Rocket League, but he's going to anyway.
This is the Overwatch to my Troy.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
like I can't let it go. It's so bad. So news this week. I actually made it to platinum level.
Ooh.
Yeah, something that I had never done before, and I have no idea why I decided that, you know what, this week is the week that I'm going to go ahead and put in like so many hours. I'm going to have my significant other just be 100% aggravated with the amount of hours I'm spending on Rocket League.
And will continue to be while listening to this podcast.
So she's still in arbitration with Rocket League.
Right, yeah. Her and Rocket League are right now like trying to figure out like a custody battle of me.
Rocket League's winning, isn't it?
Jimmy's like,
right
I get
now,
his cell on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
So what I'm hearing is during our big anniversary episode when Jem Beeb is on with us, she's going to tell us about this week.
Yeah.
Probably. More than likely.
Yeah.
I just finished this past semester school, so like it was such a weird feeling to come back like home from work and not have to do any homework, right? And like I was like, oh, I've got a couple of hours to kill. Let me pop in that Rocket League. Not really pop in because it's downloaded onto all of my systems. So I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and play a couple of quick rounds. And yeah, I actually made it to platinum level 3.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I've been very happy. I feel a sense of completion from it.
Nice.
But let's be real. I'm not done with this game.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is platinum level 3?
Okay, so in Rocket League, when you go into the ranked matches, they kind of like rank you based on like your skill level, and it starts with bronze, then it goes silver, then it goes gold, and then it goes platinum, and each one of these has 5 levels. So you could be like bronze level 5 or like gold level 3. And I've always been like gold 4 for the longest time. Like I could never get above that. And all of a sudden this week I made it up to platinum 3. So your boy's on the up and up again.
How long before they start paying you to play Rocket League?
Let's just say that I'm probably another like 6 years away.
Oh, okay. Life goals.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. They are big in the e-games, like eSports and stuff like that. So like if I do have to become an eSports athlete, I mean, I'm going to make that sacrifice for my family.
So will they send you a rocket car if you're hired to practice in?
Okay, so I feel like you're making fun of me a little bit, Amanda, and I don't appreciate this. But at the same time, I hope that they send me a rocket car.
It's going to be a rocket RC car, but that's still
yes.
awesome.
It would still be awesome. Okay.
Still very dangerous, but yes.
So, side note, yesterday while we were playing TKO on stream, one of the last drawings that I drew was of 2 lobsters with wheels fighting over a soccer ball, and it was Rock Lobster League.
Yay!
That's awesome.
And I never got to share it with you guys. And I'm upset.
Well, I'm glad you did now.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my game this
very
week.
happy.
Rocket League.
Awesome. So that was Rocket League. And then what about you, Amanda? What did you play this week?
This week I played Assassin's Creed Wrath of the Druids, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC.
Wrath of the Druids. That sounds like very mystical and magical. Was it?
Yes, and also like I don't know. I feel like the Druids were ancillary. I know they were a big part of like the story and stuff, but they just felt very I don't know, generic NPC to me. But I very much enjoyed the DLC. Druids aside, you got a bunch of new armor sets. I think you got like 6 armor sets. It was absolutely ridiculous. I expected 1, and I was surprised when there were 2, and then they just kept coming. Like there were so many. I didn't have time to fully enjoy one armor set before I had unlocked another one. If you liked going into new lands and exploring new areas in Valhalla, then absolutely get Ireland. It doesn't look too different. It's not like a huge departure because they are like two countries right next to each other, but it's so it's so pretty. Obviously, all the synchronization points are just take your breath away, and everything's so green and vibrant and beautiful, and there's like really interesting like circle motifs. I don't want to get too much into the art of it, but they have like fairy circles, fairy stones, fairy circles. It's a thing. Where they're like circles of stones. Yes. Okay. Although I think the one from Outlander is large standing stones, but fairy circles are traditionally like small stones. Bad luck to walk through them. It doesn't matter. This isn't about the game. But all of the art is very beautiful. And the thing that Assassin's Creed does so well is they do things that aren't required for the game, that you'll just like run past something and it'll be like, it'll mean something, it'll be pretty, and you can just kind of enjoy that. I thought the main story was very good. I did finish it, so I got the ending. I won't talk about that today. I won't ruin it for anybody. But that was very good. You got a new. Should I say?
Hang on a second before you go any further. Is this something that people can play without beating like the game? Is this DLC that can like actually like mesh into your ongoing campaign, asking for a friend who might be me, who never finished Valhalla?
I appreciate that also.
I don't think you need to beat the main campaign, because you leave from a place in your main camp. So as long as you have the main camp, then I can't see why you would be landlocked out of this. It doesn't doesn't refer to the main story in this DLC, but there's no reason why this has to be afterwards.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But you did unlock something brand new. You unlocked a new weapon type, and it's so cool. So you got a bunch of new animations with it. I'm not going to talk too much about it so that if you're going to play it, it doesn't ruin it for you. But if you are going to buy the DLC, like, all the new weapons are great. All the new armor is great. Like, there's some new stylized stuff, and it's just like, new content. I think I played it too fast. I want more of it now, and there's no more, which makes me sad. But it was very good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, is there anybody new for Eivor to romance in this new area?
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't fulfilled my need for there to be a competent male-female relationship in this game, but, they did a very good job on the romanceable character.
Awesome.
Love it.
That's great. All right, so that was Assassin's Creed Wrath of the Druids?
Yes, Assassin's Creed Valhalla Wrath of the Druids, right?
Thank you, yes. I knew I was forgetting one of the colons or whatever it is. Awesome. I'll go next. The game I played this week was Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is a game that collects Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. It remasters them, so they all have updated graphics, and then it also goes back and corrects some of the issues that were with them. So, like, in Mass Effect 3, you got to customize your Shepard a little bit more than Mass Effect 2 or 1, especially number 1. So they went back and they added those options into it, so you could customize your Shepard from the very beginning and have all those options, which I thought that was a really nice touch. They went back and they changed Mass Effect 1's combat to be much more like 2 and 3. Mass Effect 1, the combat was very, very, like, I don't want to say sloppy, but I mean, it was the first game. They were doing something completely brand new. So, but they obviously iterated on it in 2 and 3. So they went back and they fixed that at least a little bit.
Did they remaster the cutscenes and stuff?
Yes. All of the cutscenes are upscaled. They're all well done, better done, more well done.
Done better?
Done better. They are all done better.
Are they medium rare?
Yeah. Well done. I like my cutscenes medium rare, actually.
Yeah. I think medium rare is the correct way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's the only way.
It's the only way
to eat it. Only way to eat a cutscene.
Yes. And then they also did fix a couple of the problematic, like, camera angles in Mass Effect 2 specifically. There was a lot of shots of there's a character named Miranda who is, an amazing character, I will say. And there was a lot of shots of her posterior where it's like facing Shepard, the main character, but it's from behind her down real low for no reason.
That sounds like a Kojima tactic.
Yes, definitely Kojima tactic.
So
they changed some of those angles.
Yeah. I didn't realize those angles were like a thing until I guess I'm more conscious about it now, and I replayed Metal Gear Solid 4 and I was like, oh my god, what Kojima? What?
I guarantee you were probably just as conscious when you were younger about it. It was for a totally different reason.
Yes, probably. More than likely.
Whereas most likely for Amanda and I, we still feel the same way when we see that stuff.
Yeah.
Why? So Brian,
yes.
How sad are you about Morden? Have you gotten to it yet? I don't know why you'd want to relive that moment.
Okay. So right now I'm in Mass Effect 2. I beat Mass Effect 1 in 3 days. Actually, it was about 2. But let's just say 3 days. I beat Mass Effect 1, did everything in it, did all the side quests, did all the stuff I wanted to. And so now I'm in Mass Effect 2. And I'm really looking forward to playing Mass Effect 2 over again because they have all the DLC included with all the games. In the first one, there was only one piece of DLC, and I did play that the first time around. In Mass Effect 2, I didn't play any of the DLC.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking forward to doing all of those because I think there's like 4 pretty good chunks of DLC in the second one.
And they have downloadable characters that you got after the fact. So if you play with them during the game, even from the beginning, the experience is entirely different.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah, both of those characters, one of them, you can get both of them from the very beginning. And one of them is in the main, like you're pretty much your first place you go to.
Is the Prothean guy?
Yes, Zahid.
Yeah, he's very important. Everything he says in cutscenes is just magnificent. How he wasn't in the original game, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, because he has like a very unique character as well.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. And all of his like when you go talk to him in the actual ship itself. Great dialogue.
Yeah, all his exposition is so important.
Yeah, I'm like very sad I didn't play with him the first go around. So yeah, I'm looking forward most to this. I'm only about like 8 hours into the second Mass Effect 2, and I'm in the middle of Morden's loyalty mission right now. So yeah, I know. I do remember his loyalty mission the first time around. Yeah. I just forgot how long it was.
I am the very model of a.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't played Mass Effect, none of this makes sense. But for those of you who have, you're welcome.
Listen, as someone who's never played Mass Effect, I'm having a great time right now.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Stop what you're doing. Go play Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
You
like
should
right
actually.
now.
Mass Effect.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Stop
right
podcasting.
Now. Just get off the podcast and go.
BioWare's the best.
Mass Effect. Yeah. Mass Effect 1 I was planning on doing things differently. So the first time around, I killed off Ashley and I kept Kaidan and I killed off the council. So I was like, okay, this time around, I'm going to romance somebody else. So I romanced Liara.
She's cool.
Instead of Kaidan. And I was like, all right, I'm going to kill off Kaidan though. I'm going to keep Ashley. And then as I played the game, I remembered why I killed off Ashley to begin with. Because she's so xenophobic.
Yeah.
And so anti-aliens. It's completely throws me off. And it's just like, oh, wow.
Oh, weird.
Like, you kind of have a reason for it, Ashley, but like, oh, wow, girl.
I love when I replay a game and you're going to like, no, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to play evil this time. You get like one mission and you're like, nope, same game.
Yep, same game. But so I did end up killing her off again, but I did end up saving the council this time. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes through into 2 and 3.
That's cool.
And seeing how that works out. But I'm loving the game. I'm definitely going to be talking about this for the next week or two on the podcast, so just to forewarn you guys. Sorry, Joe, I've been playing Mass Effect like every single day for a lot of hours.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of
It's a lot to take in. Our roommates have gotten really into it, though. Like, one of them comes home from work, she goes, what have you done today? What has happened? Who's alive? Who's not alive? She's very invested.
It's a really good story.
She's like, did you get that scientist that was doing those things to those people? I was like, not yet. And then finally I was like, yes, I got it. She's like, oh, how did it end? So.
That's awesome. But have you shown them Rocket League?
This is a different version of Rocket League.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
It's just in space.
Yeah.
It's actual rockets.
All the rockets are people, and all the leagues are bad guys and space.
Nailed it.
Loved it. Let's do it.
So that was my game, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and it's amazing. And then finally, Joe, what are you going to be talking about this week?
All right. So I could go into some long, boring diatribe about how I am still grinding Pokemon Snap and of the Assassin's Creed game that I started that I will talk about in a different week when I'm done romancing people, or any of these other games, but I'm not going to. You know what I'm going to talk about?
What's that?
It's going to be this really stupid game on my phone.
Ooh.
I have insomnia. I've been awake a lot. So from like around 1 o'clock in the morning till about 3 o'clock in the morning, I have a new game that I've been playing. It's really dumb. If you have an iPhone, I do believe it's on everything, but I have an iPhone. I've been playing this stupid game called Parking Jam. It's a backwards puzzle game. They give you a parking lot full of cars that are all messed up, and you got to find a way to get the cars out of the parking lot.
Oh, is it the slidey one?
Yes, it's one of those dumb slidey games. I love just repetitive, grindy games like that to like tune out. I don't even think. It's a puzzle, and I'm just doing a puzzle. That's it. And for about 2 hours every night for this week, that is what I have done to try and go to sleep. It doesn't work, but I really enjoy these puzzles. They added a little granny who walks around the parking lot. You can't hit her with the cars or you lose the level.
That's funny.
They added all these dumb scenery things that you get. Like, I honestly have no idea why this game has captured my attention, but it has, and I am enjoying it. It is a very mindless, completely unnecessary thing to be doing with 2 hours of my time while I can't sleep. I could be doing something productive, but instead, I am undoing parking jams in parking lots. You're welcome.
Joe, I have a question.
Yes.
How did you come across Parking Jam?
Okay. I was playing an equally as stupid game on my phone.
Did the ads get you?
It did. I had to watch that ad so many times, and then when I saw the ad, there was like a little granny in a walker going through the parking lot. I'm like, well, I have to know what the story with this granny is. Mm-hmm. So last week I was playing a game, I think it's called like Match Tile 3D or something stupid like that. And if these stupid games would just be $3 games instead of $6 games to get rid of ads, I would give them my $3. $6 is too much. So that game got me. I think actually that game might have been an ad on a different game I was playing as well. I went down like an ad. I've had insomnia. I'm not making good choices, guys. None of these choices are good. But Match Tile 3D, also equally as stupid a game. But it's a dumb puzzle. It's enjoyable. I can mindlessly sit there and boop, 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 boop. That's it. There we are.
I love...
I saved a granny.
I love that, like, the story about how you got there, because if you go into the App Store and you just type in Parking Jam, you get Parking Jam 3D, Parking Panic, Escape Car Quest, Parking Mania. You get Parkmaster, Dr. Parking 4.
Is Parkmaster like Lore Master? Or like Page Master?
I have no idea. But then
I think I need to play Dr. Parking 4, though. I think that one's a winner for me.
Oh my God. It's just like, there are so many parking games and you're like, what? Like, how did Joe land on this one?
Or how is there even one parking game? Who is like, man, you know what I love? Parking.
Parking. I love parking jams so much that I want to undo them. You know what? Ever since I started driving to Miami, I think this has become like the thing. Like, I feel like I'm doing some good in my own life. I'm undoing it now.
Yeah, you move there. Just get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Don't hit that granny.
No, the roads don't make any sense. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I love it.
Awesome.
So you're welcome. Parking Jam. Enjoy trying to figure out which one.
I'm downloading it right now. Well, one of them. I don't know which one.
I will put which one it is in Discord later tonight.
Okay, sounds good.
And anyone else out there in podcast land that would like to join our Discord, you are more than welcome to. I will be adding this app and its goofiness in there. Join me. Enjoy.
Amazing. All right, so that was Parking Jam. Is that your jam, Joe?
Oh, it's my jam. Puzzle games that have endless possibilities and the same thing happening over and over again. Coins. Do you unlock things? Is there a Japanese area to unpark cars from? I'm there.
Is it your jam sandwich? Very on brand.
So that will do it for our games. Now that brings us to our news segments.
Oh, wait. Sorry. No. News. We're so Troy dependent.
Yeah, Troy's very much the glue that holds us together musically.
Yes. But you know what? We're going to start this week with the biggest game that everyone has been waiting for, and it's finally got a release date. That's right. On November 11th, Grand Theft Auto 5 is getting released for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Whoa.
Woo?
Finally.
Woo?
Wow.
Hell yeah. About time.
I will have to say, like, that's one of my favorite games. I think it came out on the PS3 originally.
It came on the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Oh my God.
I think 3 iterations of Grand Theft Auto came out. I think Grand Theft Auto 3, 4, and 5 all came out on the PS3, Xbox 360 era. And then in 3 generations of console, 1 game has come out.
Wow.
It's hilarious. It's a 10-year-old game, guys. 10-year-old game.
Rockstar's just milking it.
Just making all that money from Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah.
They're making so much money from that. They're just like, whatever. It's fine.
And the Grand Theft Auto Online community is like massive. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, and when the game does come out for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, I think on the PS5, Grand Theft Auto Online is going to be free for the first 3 months. So you don't even need to purchase the game. It's a separate download that you can have, and you can play for free for 3 months. Yeah. And then next on the docket is in South Korea, a bill has been proposed to make it illegal to shut down an eSports league without an announcement or an attempt to sell it to a different company. The congressman that sponsored the bill noted that many of their youth dedicate many hours and years to specific games, and then that there should be some sort of protection from a company doing like what Blizzard did to the Heroes of the Storm eSports League, when they shut it down like effective immediately and leaving like hundreds of people without a job. Like overnight.
Yeah, esports are strangely unique in that, like, if a basketball team didn't want to play basketball anymore, it would just be like, we're just not going to do. And then those basketball players would just go play basketball somewhere else. But for a company that owns a game to be like, hey, we don't want this league anymore, and then for it to instantly be shut down, that's like, yeah, that's a different amount of power over a sport than most other sports have.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think it is a good. It's coming from a good place, right? I mean, like,
yes.
It's coming from a place where they do want to save those jobs. They want to save the hardworking people that have put hours and hours and hours into these games and into these leagues and into the production of these leagues. They want to make sure that they don't go unemployed.
Oh yeah, and this is in South Korea where esports is a huge business. It's a huge thing, a huge deal to them. They actually televise things on their television weekly for different tournaments, from StarCraft 2 to League of Legends, Dota, all these different games. They have esports league for, and they are huge in South Korea. So yeah, this is definitely from, I think, a good place.
Yeah.
From this congressman. So I hope it gets passed. And now to a game that was developed by 5 people. Viking Simulator Valheim has sold almost 7 million copies, guys.
It's insane.
It's been out less than a year. I think it's been out like 6 months, maybe. I don't even know if it's been out that long. But
it's 1 million a month.
Almost 7. I think it's like 6.8 million copies.
Wow,
has been sold.
That's 1.4 million copies per developer.
Yes.
My name's Estelle, and I'm good at math.
Like that's so much money, because I think the game's like only like $15. Like $10-15 I for how much it is. But, split between 5 dudes. Not a bad payday. Not a bad payday at all.
No.
So,
hopefully they use that and then they make a new game. More games. So congrats to you guys over at the Valheim Studios. I forget exactly what it's called because I forgot to write it down. But congrats to you guys. It's amazing. Good job. And then speaking of 5 people, news about Overwatch 2 came out, and it has been confirmed that it will go from 6 versus 6 people to 5 versus 5. Ooh.
In their matches. Yeah, it's a little.
That's weird.
It's a little weird, right?
Yeah. Normally you would go the other way.
Normally you would. So instead of there being 2 support, damage, and tank heroes per team, now there's just going to be 1 tank per team.
Okay.
So that's how they're doing it.
That should make some of the comp way faster then.
It is. It's going to. They also are making changes, like tanks take less damage. Their abilities have a little bit. They're upping their abilities, and they're making little tweaks. There's like a huge video that they've done about it. But Troy's not here, so I feel like I'm betraying him by talking about it now without him being here.
We should just talk about things that are wrong so that Troy, when he listens to this, is like, why wasn't I there? Oh, no.
Yeah. It's actually going to 7 versus 7.
Yeah,
everyone.
I mean, just like, you don't need a healer on your team, though, so it's like not even necessary. Yeah.
It's actually just going into a 52 people battle royale.
Right,
it is.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be called Oops All Support.
Not that comp means anything.
No, not at all.
We tease.
We do. But I am looking forward to Overwatch 2. It does look very good because they put out a video with it. So they showed off like a new game mode as well, a couple of other things. So it's looking good. I'm looking forward to it. So that's the end of the news. Now that brings us to our Mighty Morsel Tasty Topic.
Mighty Morsel Tasty Topic.
So weird.
Got Joe. We miss you, Troy.
Man,
We're gonna be doing this after every single musical.
Or
note.
Joe's gonna cut all of these bits and then just put in a thing with Troy doing it. We're gonna sound awesome.
Awesome.
People are gonna be like, "Wow, they sound so good. Who's that guy that sounds like Troy?" And I'll be
That's
like, "It's
Joe.
me." Oh yeah, there you go.
She got her nodes. She's got nodes.
We had the same joke.
Yeah. Sweet pitch perfect reference. But you know what? This week, our Mighty Most So Tasty topic will be brought to us by Joe, the amazing deep voice herself.
Thank you very much.
Exactly like Troy.
I had an interesting idea for a tasty topic this week. I thought it might be fun to talk about with all the games coming out, and many of them are packed with grinding and special events, holidays, and an endless checklist of things to do. What makes an endless game finally end for y'all?
Ooh. Okay.
I figure I'll start us off. For me, it is the unfortunateness of the shiny new thing. I usually can play a game forever, and then literally all it takes is some brand new game to come out, and I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, 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 look at the shiny thing. Ooh. I absolutely adore endless games. Like, I literally played Animal Crossing almost for an entire year. And I only kind of fell out of love with it a little bit here and there. And it almost got me back with the cherry blossom stuff. But then there was Zipper. And I was like, ooh, piece of candy. There was like 8 other games that came out all in the course of like 3 weeks. And I haven't gone back. My town's probably overrun with weeds.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I can't go back and face Marshall now. He'll never be my friend now. He's never going to give me his picture now. So it's the unfortunateness of, if I see something shiny and new, like I usually kind of gravitate towards the new thing to play, and then I'll play that until the next new thing there is to play. Or if I have insomnia, and then I just play a parking jam game.
It's definitely difficult because of like the amount of new content that's come out to not just get instantly distracted by new games.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's shiny new thing. I have the unfortunateness of, if it's shiny and it's new, it's getting bought, and I'm going to have to backburner something.
Happens to the best of us, Joe.
I'm afraid to go back into my Animal Crossing town too. Like, I feel like somehow it's gonna be like the apocalypse, and like I'm gonna like walk out of my house. There's not gonna be any villagers around, and I'm gonna be like, where is everybody? I'm gonna walk into town hall, and then there's gonna be Nook, eye patch covering like one of his eyes. He's like, "You've been missing for quite a long time," and then he starts explaining to me like what's happening.
Is there an exclamation point, and then a little box gets closer and closer and closer to you? Bling!
Oh,
Somebody comes up to him, big boss.
Exactly.
I would love to see Nook as Solid Snake.
Right?
I agree.
It'd be great.
But for myself, it actually is goal-oriented, especially if a game has like unlocks or something like that. Like, let's just say, like, for instance, Sims 4. You have different stages of your career that you can go into. You can go into a career, and it's like from stage 1 to stage 10. And usually if I get to stage 10 and I can afford everything that I ever want, is when I stop playing the game. That's my goal. I can afford everything, I'm good. Like with Animal Crossing, it was, I'm able to unlock more of the island. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can now get the next tool. Okay, now I have this, now I have that. The museum's done now. And that's when I stop. It's just, I don't even know what my final goal is half the time. Mm-hmm. I just know, like, when I've reached it, it's like that methadone switch just turns off, and it's just, well, I'm done.
For me, it's definitely about new content. Once I stop seeing things that are new, then like I kind of fall off it. I'm not that type of person that's like a map completionist. Like, I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm really interested by like the new armor and the new ships and the new story points. I'm really big into story. Uh-huh. But like, I'm not the type of person that's gonna go back and like get every shrine. Like, yeah. I don't want to catch those fish. Like, if you need 50 fish, go catch your own fish. Like, I'm not gonna.
I'm a Viking, damn it.
Who do you think you are, Santa Claus? Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I mean, the shiny points in the map are going to bother me forever, but like as soon as I stop seeing new things, like I'm not going to go back into that game just to play it over and over and over again. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if they put Santa Claus in Assassin's Creed? Now I definitely want to see Santa Claus in an Assassin's Creed.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Who do you think you are, Santa Claus?
That would be I could imagine a Viking Santa Claus.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine Eivor as Santa Claus?
Eivor is the one who steps into the shoes of the Santa Claus, and it's her armor in red Or his, I guess he has a beard when it's the dude Eivor. But I'm thinking chick Eivor, she's got like a cool, like her hair is like red on the top and like, oh, I think she could be Santa.
I mean, you already had the elk in the game. I mean, so you could just put...
That's right.
Yeah. That'd be amazing. For me, I think, to be honest with you guys, I think I just get bored. Like...
Yeah.
And I feel like I used to feel bad about it because like so when which Animal Crossing came out for the Wii?
City Folk?
Yeah, I think it was City Folk.
Yeah, City Folk, yeah.
Like City Folk, like I rode hard for City Folk. Like I played that almost every day for a really long time. And then like I missed like maybe like 1 or 2 days and then I felt bad about going back. And then at some point I was just like, you know what? I'm going to be bored when I go back to the town anyway. Like, same thing for Animal Crossing. Like, you know, this past one I haven't played since New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. And I feel really bad, again, because I think there's an apocalypse happening on my island. It's just, there's other games out there. And it's not that they're shiny and new, but I'm just like, I want to experience something different. I don't necessarily want to keep on playing, like, almost the same day over and over and over again, right? Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely in love with Animal Crossing. Like, it's probably my game of the year 2020.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing is temporary. Rocket League is forever.
That's what the tattoo says.
Yeah, you were merely adopted into Animal Crossing. You were born into Rocket League.
I was born into this. No, but yeah, I think I just get bored of the endless games from time to time, and I'm just like, I need something new. Mm-hmm. And even games that have an end, like I get bored of, like, or I get like overwhelmed by, like Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah.
I put a good like maybe 25 hours into that, and filled out not a lot of the map, and I was like, well, Overwhelmed herself's not gonna like this. Delete off the PS5 until we come back, until we meet again.
I just recently started replaying Assassin's Creed, and I looked at my map, and I had forgotten that I kept going into areas that were way too like power level crazy for me. But the only thing I do in the game is just run around and undo gold, shiny spots on the map.
Yeah.
And I just care about the eagle points where you're like looking at and everything. So like I just want to look at the countryside. So it's great. I just roam around.
It's a beautiful
game.
But
I totally agree. The game is gorgeous, but it's way too big.
Yep.
Like I put it down for I think a good two months now because I was like, I can't. I don't know what to even do. And the game's telling me go do these main missions, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to know what's going to happen. You know what? I already know what sad thing's going to happen at the end of this. You foreshadow real heavy, guys. I'm not about that life. I'm just going to go run around the countryside, but it's way too big.
When you're accidentally triggering the actual like story like cutscenes, and they're like Eivor, and your first reaction is shut up. Like that's when you know you're pretty much done with the game.
Yeah. Yeah. A new game's coming out. I was like, no, I need to beat this game before I start that new one because I'm never coming back. And it really is just like, oh, my kid's locked in a well. It's like, well, he's dead. And you just keep going, just mainlining.
I did that in Red Dead. Like somebody would be getting attacked by a bear, and I'm like, guys, there's no sense in both of us getting attacked by the same bear. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna loot your body real quick.
I'm sorry. I don't feel like going to the mall today.
You're terrible, Brian. I hate you.
Thank you. But yeah, that's a great topic there, Joe. So thank you so much for bringing that to us.
It's endless.
It is. But that has been our
Mighty Morsel Tasty Topic.
Good job.
Editor Joe stepping in for just a second here. Unfortunately, halfway through our tasty topic, we did lose Manda's feed for voice. We're sorry.
All right, so confession time, all you podcast listeners. This is Manda, and I may or may not have messed up my recording this week. Joe, our most excellent editor, is going to do her best to cover for my mistake, but part of my recording is lost, so I need you to do me a favor. I need you to imagine how funny and entertaining I was for the second half of this episode this week, because some of my jokes is missing. Just to keep you in the loop, I made a joke about Nook being Boss from Metal Gear Solid. I made a joke about Eivor being Santa Claus. I had some very insightful information about how I don't play indie games after new content is done, but all of it is lost into the ether of the internet, and I am so sorry. Won't happen again next week. We figured out our issue, but thank you for listening. Bye.
And now that brings us to our Dragon of the Week. Do.
It's the Dragon of the Week,
and
and
Troy's not here. It's the Dragon of the Week, so this won't rhyme. Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week is our segment where we shine a little light, show a little love to the video games industry and all of the people who make the games that we love to play. Bringing us our Dragon of the Week this week is Brian.
That's right. It is me, myself. And this week, I'm going to be bringing you guys Jennifer Hale, prolific voice actor, singer, and outdoors lover. So Jennifer was born in 1972 in Labrador, Canada. Shortly thereafter, though, she moved to Alabama with her mom. And growing up, she was raised by her mom and her stepdad. And one of her first acting gigs was when she was paid $35 to do voiceover work for the local Birmingham radio station. She couldn't believe she was getting paid just for talking. She's like, I talk anyways. You're going to pay me $35? All right, let's do this. One of the reasons she believed she was hired was that her mom always discouraged her from talking with a Southern accent. So she didn't have one, or at least not as much of a one. Mm-hmm. And she loved singing and was in a rock band in high school. So she later went to study acting and singing in college, but didn't like it as she wanted to do something more film related rather than theater. So she got her degree in business because, hey, you got to make money somehow, right?
Absolutely.
But her first film she ever auditioned for, she got. She was still like doing things locally and everything. And it was for a NBC movie of the week they used to make. You know, they used to do an NBC movie every single week it'd come out. And this was called A Father's Homecoming. And she was like, oh, wow, this is pretty great. So she later got cast to be in several episodes of the soap opera Santa Barbara. And there was over 6,000 people who auditioned for the role, and she got it. And she couldn't believe it. She's like looking around, like talking back on it. She's like, you know, I used to wear baggy clothes and like big loose fitting shirts. And she was like walking through the audition process, and there's all these gorgeous women there. She's like, why did they cast me?
Of course, it's Santa Barbara, California. It's ridiculous over there.
It is. It is. And after acting in more regional roles, though, she actually decided to take the plunge and move to Los Angeles. And so she got smaller roles, most beginning actors do, shows like Melrose Place, ER, and Charmed, like little bit roles. But after 2 years, she was like, hey, I got to do something a little more steady. I need like a good paycheck. So she remembered from her radio days and sought out voiceover work. And wouldn't you know it, in 1994, she landed her first major role for a little cartoon series called Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego?
Wait a second.
I love that. That was great.
Who did she play in where?
She was one of the main characters, Ivy, an agent trying to catch Carmen Sandiego.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. It was if you don't remember the series, Carmen Sandiego's on the run because she's a former agent of this from this detective agency called Acme. And so she was at first she was the antagonist, then she became the anti-hero because she was helping them catch other bad guys.
And showing us part of the world at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And not only was this a series that ran for 5 years, a project she thoroughly enjoyed, and one of the first cartoons that was classified as educational, but it was also her gateway into voiceovering for video games because it was a successful cartoon in the 90s and it was already based on a video game. They're like, hey, naturally they're going to make a video game out of that, right? Like safe bet. And, of course, she voiced her character from the cartoon series. And it was definitely a fish out of the water feeling, as it was almost completely different from doing normal voiceover work that she was doing. She was baffled by how many lines she had about like flags and about how kind of haphazard the entire process was. There's like, yeah, do this. Yeah, do that line now. Why not? Like,
sure.
Yeah. She was like, how are you guys going to use all of all these lines? Like I have 150 lines just about different flags. Like where's this going, guys?
She's probably like, oh, I can do a better one. And the director's like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
It's good. We're
good.
And from there, though, she would actually go on to work with BioWare's Baldur's Gate, where she was getting comfortable with the medium and actually understanding it better. And this worked out pretty darn well for her and BioWare, as she would go on to voice Bastilla Shan in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, both 1 and 2.
That's super cool.
And then she would go on to voice the main character, if you chose the female version, for Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. So the main character in that game. She was, if you chose the female one.
This is all leading somewhere.
Oh, I got a hook. And this would all culminate in what is arguably her most famous video game role, the female voice of Shepard, the main character for the Mass Effect series. And this is actually where I learned her name, because as I played as the female Shepard, her voiceover work was so damn good, I had to know who it was. Like, it was so good. Like, I cannot understate how good of a job she did with Shepard. Every single line, like, has gravitas. Every grunt, every breath. You can actually feel, like, how Shepard's feeling in the moment. And, like, I'm not disparaging Mark Mear's performance as male Shepard. I mean, I'm sure he did a fine job, but I have never heard his lines. Because Jennifer Shepard is the only Shepard I need.
Also, honestly, he's not our dragon, so...
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. And, like, you might be thinking, man, she's done some pretty big name stuff. She must not have time to do, like, any other jobs. But no, it's quite the opposite. In 2013, she was recognized by Guinness World Records as the most prolific video game voice actress out there. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface of the memorable characters that she's lent her voice to. She was the main character Sam and her rival Mandy in Totally Spies.
Oh my God, I loved that.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was her. She is a great, not that I didn't agree with you, but.
She's been Cinderella and Princess Aurora in all of their direct-to-video movies.
Whoa.
That Disney's put out. She was the voice of Black Cat in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. For Hassel, she voiced Naomi Hunter in Metal Gear Solid and Emma Emmerich in Metal Gear Solid 2.
What?
For Manda, she's voiced the trans male character Krem in Dragon Age Inquisition. And for Joe, she voiced Samus in the Metroid Prime series. And by voice, I mean all of her grunts and random sounds she makes.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, listeners, she's voiced a character in either a game or a cartoon series that you love. And you have no idea that she's done it. Like, she actually really appreciates that she went into voiceover work, because she was like, I can walk in conventions and nobody knows who I am. Like, it's amazing. I can just walk around like I'm not Nolan North. I can, like, people at least know who he is because he mocaps everything. He's an actual, like, thing. Nobody knows. And she's, again, one of the most prolific voice actresses out there. She's also done, like, commercials. Back when she was first starting out, she would tell her agent, hey, give me, like, auditions for males as well. Like, commercials that are only for male voices. Because I want to try. I want to give it a shot.
That's
and
awesome.
She was getting jobs for those too.
Hell yeah.
Like, commercials that were only going to males, she was doing that good of a job that she was getting those voiceover work. And she's just amazing. And for all of these games, though, that she's done voices for, she had actually never played a video game, period, until 2011. And the reason being that she played a video game was because she was doing an interview with Tom Bissell for The New Yorker, and he had her play the beginning of Mass Effect 2 as her character. Because he was like, hey, I want you to actually experience this. And, like, him explaining how she was, like, taking the controller and trying to, like, work out how it works. She's like, wait, what is that stick? He's like, no, it's this one right here. It's like, he's like showing her how to play. But the beginning of Mass Effect 2 is an amazing way to like experience her voice acting, because it is going through an exploding ship. She's like, oh, wow, I can actually tell what Shepard is doing based on my voice acting. Like, I can actually tell Shepard is tired because of this. And she, like, grew a little bit better of appreciation for the crafts out of it. I mean, she never touched another video game again, but she at least was like, hey, that was actually pretty cool. I didn't know about that, this aspect of it. And so nowadays, though, she's still doing a ton of voiceover work. She is also a huge outdoor lover, from rock climbing to horse riding to, like, gardening. She does, like, all these things. She actually volunteers to help get horses out of the way of brush fires when they happen in California. Like she's part of the team. Like if Brushfire happens, she goes, all right, let's take the trailer. Let's try to see if there's any horses out here that we need to save.
How does she have all this time?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Do her days work differently? Like, does she get more hours because of all the stuff she's done?
I don't know, because like I like watch her. I was reading all of her like interviews that she's been doing over the time, and she talks about how she's like kind of like an amateur carpenter as well. She likes to build things for houses. She actually loves when it comes to houses how like she loves like the worst house on a good street. Like that's her favorite thing, is to see like the worst house on a great street, because she can see how she can like fix it up, or how she can see how the space works. And she's like if I wasn't doing voiceover work, I probably would be an architect, because I just love that aspect of it.
That's awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
She is like an overall amazing person, and that is why Jennifer Hale is my Dragon of the Week.
Dragon of the Week.
Jennifer Hale, look her up. She's done tons of interviews out there. Look up her like IMDb. Like I think in 2013 she had already had like over 120 voice over like video game credits alone.
That's crazy.
It's great. It's great. But unfortunately though, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Wow. But you can always find us online.
To continue the conversation, you can always follow us online. Check us out on Twitter for the latest in indie game news, on Instagram for updates and silly images, on Discord for daily discussions, and on Twitch for live gaming and just chatting every day of the week. We are at Taste of Dragons everywhere, and we'd love to hear from you.
And also, we still have our Gem of the Week, our Beeb of the Week, if you will. And it's going to be brought to us by Joe.
That's right. The Gem of the Week is from the wonderful, the fantastic Cold Ash, who stated during one of our streams this past week, "Good time to find out your blood type is when you're selling it for rice cooker money."
That is an amazing time to find out.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what he was talking about, but it was amazing.
Listen, I don't think I've ever bought one of those, so that's probably why I don't know what my blood type is.
Give more blood, man.
Wait, you buy blood?
You can.
Amanda, where do you buy your blood? You got a blood guy?
Who doesn't have a blood guy? What, you guys don't have blood guys?
Yeah, I'm running straight to Nook. He's going to know what to do.
Oh, man, your blood guy's the same as my blood guy. Damn it.
It's going to be no blood left for me.
So thank you, Cold Ash. Thank you for bringing such joy to our lives, as always.
That's right. And as always, my name is Brian.
I'm Hassel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
The Taste of Dragons.
Have a great night, everyone.
Hey, Troy, you want to start a FIFA?
Yes, Hassel, I would love to play FIFA with you.
That's my best Troy line.
Taste of Dragons Gaming Podcast, a podcast for everyone's taste.